Going on, everyone? It's Baze here, and today I'm here to bring you a guide on Halls of Atonement. Now, the way Halls of Atonement works is you go around and you kill these shards of Halkias. There's 3 of them. There's 2 on the left side and 1 on the right, and each one contains 2 obliterators, a collector, and a shard of Halkias. Now, the important part of these packs is the obliterators. The obliterators will put a curse on 2 players. It can be spell reflected, and so the healer is going to want to decurse them, and you're also going to want to kick the wicked bolts that they're casting because they do nasty damage, especially when Halkias is doing his slam on top of it, and you have a decurse that might go off as well. And then the collector also casts Collect Sins, which drains HP from whoever it's targeting. So there's a lot going on here. The important thing is to make sure that you're kicking the 2 obliterator cast, Wicked Bolts. Everything else is not nearly as important, but it is still important to CC, or if you have another kick up, you can kick it as well. But the bolts are by far the most important. Their damage can pretty much one-shot you, especially at a high key. So that is the first part of this key. The second part of this key is the boss fights. So Halkias is a pretty simple boss. It's pretty much you're running around the boss. He's gonna throw some rubble on the tank and ranged, and if you're melee comp, you'll just throw it at melee. So you just dodge these, and then he's also gonna have 4 beams that come out, and they're going to rotate clockwise and counterclockwise. Sometimes they'll switch midway through, sometimes they don't. I'm not sure why that's the case, but that's just how it works, so you'll just need to pay attention to that. On this run, I believe they do turn back. On the run before this, they didn't, so I don't know if it's just RNG or what, but it seems like it's just RNG. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You gotta make sure you stand inside of this ring. If you don't, you're gonna get feared. So you want to try and avoid that. The healer can pull you in if it's a priest, though, if you accidentally run out. So yeah, that's it for that fight. It's pretty straightforward. There's really nothing too crazy. Now, these packs are quite common after the first boss. It has a gargoyle and 2 eviscerators. The 2 eviscerators just do AoE on everyone. As you can see, they hurt quite a lot. And then the gargoyle basically does damage to the tank, and then also does turn to stone. So it's just a little AoE effect. I thought I'd just give you guys a little glimpse of this because you're probably going to be pulling this because they changed the count in this dungeon. So you need a lot more percentage, so you can't just skip after the first boss for anyone who played in Shadowlands or who didn't play in Shadowlands. Basically, what you would do is you would just kill the first boss and you would skip all this with Invis or Rogue. You can no longer do that, so you just gotta pull these mobs, and it's pretty much just Eviscerator and Gargoyles. As you can see here, we did a pretty big pull. There is also a caster back there. That's the bolts you want to make sure you kick. Those do hurt. So that's pretty much everything you probably will be pulling in this area. I am not sure if we're going to end up pulling these Gargoyles or not, but just in case that's what the route includes in the meta, these 2 gargoyles are going to do a swipe, frontal swipe. It's in a cone. You want to dodge that. It does a knockback on the tank as well if he gets hit. And then they also throw rocks at the tank as well. So they just do big damage. And that's pretty much it. Now the next fight is Echelon. He is the second boss in this dungeon. The quick rundown of this fight is that he throws out puddles of blood. So any casters it'll be casted on, you can bait it out to the side. And then he also has ads that spawn every like 30 to 45 seconds. And the gist of them is you want to kick them in or grip them in, whatever you got, and CC them. And then after you kill them, they turn to stone. And then you will get a circle around you that destroys the ads. It will also turn you into stone. You can spell reflect the dot. It puts a pretty big dot on you as well. But after you kill the mini ads, it does do a party-wide AoE. And if you don't kill them right here with this circle you see on this person right here, then they will regenerate and they will stockpile pretty quickly. So you do not want to mess that up at all because things can get out of hand pretty quickly. The next thing is that at 100 energy, Echelon will curse the group with Curse of Stone. So you'll be slowed over 5 seconds and stunned for, I think it's like 3 to 4 seconds. So you can remove the stone with a Curse Dispel. So druids, mages, and shamans can remove it. And yeah, that is pretty much the entire fight there. And then after that, you will pull this pack. It's a pretty big pull. You just want to make sure you're kicking the 2 hunters that will buff the big gargoyle bears. Besides that, the pack is pretty simple. You just want to make sure you're kicking those casts and CCing. It's a pretty chill pack. There's not much to really worry about outside of that. Now, if you remember how we talked about earlier, these ads are the ads in the Shard of Halkias packs. So you just want to kick the Bolt cast. You want to kick the Collect of Sins. And that is pretty much it. You also have a Dispel you can get rid of as well. So the next fight is Aleez. Now with Aleez, the rundown of this is that Aleez does a cast. You want to rotate kicks on this. There's also an ad that fixates on you. You drag the ad to this lantern. After that, there will be volleys. You just dodge these, and you'll have 2 dispels as well go out at the same time. And then it is pretty much the same thing over and over. It's a pretty straightforward fight. You do want to make sure that you choose the closest lantern possible with the fixate ad, because it does do a group-wide AoE pulse that can be really nasty, especially when you have both dispels out. So you just want to make sure you're on top of your game there and you're not greeting or anything like that. And the next thing after that is a little mini boss. Now this boss casts like 5 circles on everyone, and then you also do rounds of killing ads because the ads will heal the boss, or the boss will heal off the ads, technically. And then the ads also sometimes will spawn puddles under them. You'll see a little circle around them, so you just want to dodge that. And then the boss also mini boss also casts Wicked Bolts, so you just want to kick that as well. And that's pretty much just a rinse and repeat. I think this happens 4 times if I remember correctly. It might be 3. But either way, you are just pretty much killing ads here, CCing, because they also fixate as well. And that is it. And the final boss of this dungeon is Lord Chamberlain. The gist of this fight is that he throws around statues, and thankfully Blizzard has added some quality of life to this fight, so you can actually see where the statue is going. He also casts frontals. From these statues, he now radiates a AoE circular pulse, so you just don't want to be in those and you'll be fine. He also puts a dot on the tank as well. And at 70 and 40%, he does a mechanic where he goes to the middle. He pulls in all 4 of these statues. And then after this, he will push out the statues and he will cast 4 beams onto the statues. And you just want to make sure your raid is soaking this, or your group is soaking this. So that is pretty much it for that fight. Also, he does cast a circle around the statues again after that intermission. And it's just rinse and repeat after that. Again, he pulls in statues, throws them your way, casts a frontal, and that is it. If you guys found this guide helpful, let me know. Appreciate you all for watching.